Jack Thompson stood at the window of Earth's newly built embassy, watching the sunset paint the sky in shades of orange and purple. His reflection showed a man in his 40s, with tired eyes and graying hair at his temples. As Earth's chief diplomat, he had faced many challenges, but tonight's dinner could change humanity's future forever. "Sir, the kitchen staff is asking about the meat selection again," Mike said from the doorway. The young assistant held a tablet, his face showing clear worry. "They're not sure how to prepare food for creatures that usually eat their prey alive." Jack turned away from the window, straightening his tie. "Tell them to wait. We have bigger problems right now." He walked to his desk where several screens showed different news channels. All of them were talking about the same thing: the Hunter delegation's upcoming visit. Earth's leadership has lost their minds. One headline screamed. Another showed protesters outside the embassy, holding signs that read, "Don't feed the space wolves," and "Humanity is not on the menu." Jack understood their fear. The Hunters were the most feared predators in known space. Standing 3 meters tall, with powerful bodies covered in armor-like scales, they looked like Earth's ancient dinosaurs had evolved and learned to build spaceships. Every species that met them either became their prey or stayed far away from their territories. But humanity needed those territories. The Hunters controlled the fastest routes between Earth and the resource-rich sectors of space. Without access to these routes, human expansion would take centuries longer than planned. "Mike, bring up the simulation again," Jack ordered, rubbing his temples. The young assistant tapped his tablet, and a hologram filled the center of the room. It showed trade routes spreading across the galaxy like a spider's web. The red lines were Hunter-controlled paths, cutting through the safest and most efficient routes. "Sir," Mike hesitated, "the military just called again. They want to position a battleship in orbit during the dinner." "Absolutely not," Jack shook his head. "The Hunters would see it as a sign of distrust." "Do you know why they agreed to this dinner, Mike?" "No one knows, sir. They've never accepted a diplomatic dinner before. Some say it's a trap." Jack smiled slightly. "It's because we're the first to invite them properly. Every other species treats them like monsters. We're treating them like equals." He walked to a display case showing Earth's historical artifacts. Among them was a simple wooden spear. "Humans were apex predators too, once. We didn't stay in caves. We built cities. Maybe the Hunters see something of themselves in us." A soft chime interrupted them. Mike checked his tablet and paled. "Sir, the orbital sensors just detected their ship entering the solar system. They're early." Jack nodded, feeling surprisingly calm. "Good. Tell the staff to finish preparations. And Mike." He waited until the assistant looked at him. "Remove the silverware from the dining room. We won't need it." "But sir, the Hunters don't use tools to eat, so neither will we. When in Rome, do as the Romans do." As Mike hurried away, Jack looked once more at the ancient spear. Humanity had evolved from hunter-gatherers into a spacefaring civilization. They had learned to be diplomats while keeping their predators' instincts. Tonight, those instincts might save them. The sun had fully set now, leaving Earth's first interstellar embassy lit by soft artificial lights. In orbit, a massive ship approached, its design resembling a prehistoric creature. Inside it, the most feared species in the galaxy prepared to have dinner with the newest spacefaring race. Jack straightened his shoulders and walked toward the embassy's entrance. It was time to show the galaxy that humans could dance with wolves, even if these wolves came from the stars. The embassy kitchen had never been so quiet. 20 of Earth's best chefs stood still, staring at the hologram playing in front of them. The recording showed a hunter eating on their home world. Several people turned away, looking sick. "Turn it off," Jack ordered. The hologram disappeared, but the image of the massive alien tearing into living prey stayed in everyone's minds. "I know this isn't what you expected when you signed up for diplomatic cooking." Tom, the head chef, stepped forward. His white uniform was perfectly clean, but sweat showed on his forehead. "Sir, We can't serve living creatures. It goes against every health and safety rule we have." "We don't have a choice," Mike said from beside Jack. He held up his tablet, showing research data. In hunter culture, refusing to eat what they offer is the same as declaring war. They see it as rejecting their strength. Jack walked to the kitchen's cold storage unit. Inside, Earth's finest meats and vegetables waited, now useless. The hunters agreed to bring their own food. "Our job is to show respect for their customs while teaching them about ours." "But sir," a young chef spoke up, "what about our dinner? We can't eat raw meat like they do." Jack smiled. "No, we can't. That's why we're going to teach them something new." He turned to Tom. "Can you prepare 2 versions of each dish? One cooked for us, one raw for them." Tom thought for a moment, then nodded slowly. Yes, we could do that. Show them both ways, let them choose." His chef's mind was already working on the problem. "We could display the raw ingredients, then show the cooking process like a demonstration." "Exactly," Jack said. "The hunters respect strength. Let's show them that humans are strong enough to change their food and make it better." He checked his watch. "We have 4 hours. Get to work." As the kitchen staff rushed to prepare, Jack and Mike walked through the embassy's dining hall. Workers were removing all the chairs. Hunters preferred to stand while eating. The long wooden table remained, its surface polished to mirror brightness. "Latest intelligence reports, sir," Mike said, reading from his tablet. "The hunters have strict eating rules. The alpha always eats first. Looking at their food before they offer it is an insult. And," he paused, "if they offer us their prey, we have to accept." Jack stopped walking. "Their prey? You mean the living creatures they're bringing?" "Yes, sir. And we have to." Mike looked uncomfortable. "We have to help kill it. They see it as sharing strength." Jack felt his stomach turn, but kept his face calm. Humanity needed this dinner to succeed. "Update the security teams. If the hunters bring prey, we need to be ready to participate." They reached the embassy's entrance hall. Through the tall windows, they could see the sun rising. The hunter ship would land in 3 hours. "One more thing, sir," Mike said quietly. "The military spotted 2 more hunter ships hiding behind Mars. They're not registered with the diplomatic fleet." Jack nodded, unsurprised. "Keep monitoring them. The hunters are testing us, seeing if we notice, seeing if we're afraid." He straightened his tie. Humanity didn't climb to the top of Earth's food chain by being blind or fearful. In the kitchen behind them, chefs prepared Earth's finest dishes 2 ways, cooked and raw. In orbit, hunter ships waited and watched. And in the embassy's secure basement, a team of Earth's best soldiers checked their weapons, just in case. The stage was set. Now they just had to survive dinner with the galaxy's apex predators. The ground shook as the hunter ship landed in the embassy's courtyard. It looked like a giant metal creature, with sharp edges that reminded Jack of a prehistoric shark. Steam hissed from its sides as the door began to open. "Everyone ready?" Jack asked, standing at the embassy entrance. Mike stood beside him, tablet in hand, while Tom and his kitchen staff waited nervously behind. Nobody answered, but they all stood straighter. The first hunter stepped out into Earth's sunlight. Jack had seen pictures, but they didn't prepare him for reality. The alien was 3 meters tall, covered in dark scales that shifted colors like oil on water. Its head was shaped like a raptor's, with intelligent yellow eyes and teeth that showed even when its mouth was closed. 2 more hunters followed, each carrying large containers that moved on their own. Last came their leader, the Alpha. It was bigger than the others, with scars across its scales and eyes that seemed to see everything at once. "Welcome to Earth," Jack said clearly, letting the universal translator do its work. "We are honored by your presence." The Alpha stepped forward, moving with surprising grace for something so large. "The honor," it said in a voice like grinding stones, "is not yet given." It gestured to the containers its warriors carried. First, we hunt together. Jack felt sweat on his back, but kept his face calm. Hunt. We had prepared a dinner. Food without hunt has no taste, the Alpha said. Its teeth gleamed. We brought prey worthy of this meeting. The warriors set down their containers. Mike whispered urgently, "Sir, this isn't in any of their known protocols. We're not prepared for." Silence. The Alpha's head snapped toward Mike, who froze mid-sentence. The small one questions our gift. Jack stepped forward, putting himself between Mike and the Alpha. "No questioning. We are surprised by your generosity. May we know what prey you've brought?" The Alpha made a sound that might have been a laugh. "Razor cats from our home world. Dangerous, smart, worthy prey." It walked to the containers. 4 cats, 4 humans, 4 hunters. We hunt in pairs, 1 of each species. Jack's mind raced. The hunters were testing them, seeing if humans would back down from a dangerous hunt. Everything. The trade routes, Earth's future, maybe even humanity's survival, depended on his next words. "An excellent suggestion," Jack said, surprising everyone, including the hunters. "But since you're our guests, we should hunt in our territory." He pressed a button on his comm unit. "Open the reserve." The embassy's back walls slid open, revealing a massive enclosed space. It was a kilometer square, filled with earth trees and terrain. The hunters looked at it with interest. "Our hunting ground," Jack explained. "Built for this dinner, in case you wanted to test your skills against earth prey. But your razor cats will make it more interesting." The Alpha's eyes narrowed. "You prepared a hunting ground. You expected this." "We prepared for everything," Jack said firmly. "Humans may be new to space, but we've been predators for a very long time." For a long moment, the Alpha stared at Jack. Then it made that grinding stone laugh again. "Good. You understand. Prey that thinks ahead survives. Prey that prepares." It showed its teeth, becomes predator. The other hunters moved to open their containers. Jack quickly sent a message to security. "Release the backup prey animals into the reserve. And get me 4 volunteers who know how to hunt." The razor cats would be loose soon. Earth's deadliest predators would hunt alongside the galaxy's most feared species. And somehow, Jack had to make sure everyone survived long enough to actually have dinner. He looked at the Alpha, who was already eyeing the hunting ground with eager anticipation. "Shall we begin?" The hunting reserve felt different now that Jack was inside it. Trees cast long shadows in the artificial lighting, and somewhere ahead, a razor cat was waiting. Beside him, the Alpha moved silently despite its massive size. "You are not armed," the Alpha observed, its yellow eyes scanning the forest. The hunter carried nothing, confident in its natural weapons. "Humans have different ways of hunting," Jack replied. He carried only a coil of strong rope and a small device in his pocket. Behind them, 3 other human hunter pairs spread out through the reserve, each tracking their own razor cat. A scream echoed through the trees, not human or hunter, but something wild and angry. The Alpha's scales rippled with excitement. "The prey knows we come." Jack checked his pocket device. On its screen, small dots showed the locations of everything in the reserve. The razor cats had been tagged with tiny sensors during transport. Old-fashioned, perhaps, but effective. "This way," Jack pointed, moving carefully through the undergrowth. The Alpha followed, its head tilted in curiosity. "You track without scent," it said. "Without sight." "How?" Jack smiled. "Technology is just another claw we've grown." He stopped suddenly, holding up his hand. The Alpha froze, following his gesture. Ahead, through the trees, something large moved. Jack caught glimpses of sleek fur and glinting claws. The razor cat was twice the size of an earth tiger, with 6 legs and teeth like curved daggers. The Alpha tensed to spring, but Jack touched its arm, a dangerous move that made the hunter look at him in surprise. "Wait," Jack whispered. "Watch." He pulled out the rope and began moving in a wide circle around the razor cat. The Alpha stayed still, observing. Jack tied the rope between trees at ankle height, creating a web of lines. Then he picked up a stone and threw it past the razor cat. The creature spun toward the sound, muscles bunching to pounce. Jack threw another stone from a different direction. The razor cat turned again, growing angry at the invisible attacker. "You confuse it," the Alpha said quietly. "Make it forget its own hunting." "Humans learned long ago that big prey can be taken down by small tricks," Jack replied. He threw one more stone. The razor cat leaped toward the sound, and its legs tangled in the rope web. It crashed down, thrashing and screaming. Before it could cut itself free with its claws, the Alpha moved. The hunter was incredibly fast. In 2 bounds, it reached the trapped razor cat. There was a brief violent struggle, then stillness. The Alpha stood up, looking at Jack with new respect. "You hunted without strength, without teeth or claws. Yet the prey fell. Humans have been hunting creatures bigger and stronger than us for thousands of years," Jack said, approaching the fallen razor cat. "We learned to use our minds when our bodies weren't enough." A series of howls and roars from other parts of the reserve suggested the other hunts were reaching their own conclusions. Jack's communicator buzzed. All teams were successful. No injuries. "Your people hunt well," the Alpha said, helping Jack lift their prize. "Different from us, but effective." It made a sound that the translator didn't catch. Perhaps that is why we came." Jack looked up at the hunter. "What do you mean?" "All other species we meet are prey or predator. Simple. But humans," the Alpha's scales shifted colors thoughtfully. "Humans are both and neither. You hunt like prey, strike like predators, think like neither." "Interesting." They began carrying their catch back to the embassy. The diplomatic dinner would now have fresh meat, hunted together. But Jack realized the real diplomatic success had happened here, in the forest, where 2 different kinds of hunters learned to respect each other's ways. "Now," the Alpha said, its teeth gleaming, "we feast." Back in the embassy's dining hall, Jack watched as Tom and his kitchen staff prepared the razor cat meat 2 ways, raw for the hunters, cooked for the humans. The Alpha stood nearby, its scaled head tilted in curiosity at the cooking process. "You burn your food," it observed, watching flames rise from the cooking station. "Yet you do not destroy it." "We call it cooking," Jack explained. "It makes the meat safer for us to eat and brings out different flavors." He gestured to Tom, who was carefully searing a piece of the razor cat meat. "Would you like to try both versions?" The Alpha's scales shifted to a deep blue color that Jack hadn't seen before. "You would share your ways of eating, even though they are weaker than ours." "Different isn't always weaker," Jack said. "Humans learned to cook because our stomachs are different from yours. It helped us eat things we couldn't before, made us more adaptable." The other hunters gathered around as Tom finished preparing the first pieces. On one plate sat raw meat, dark and glistening. On another, perfectly cooked pieces gave off a mouth-watering aroma. The Alpha reached for both plates, surprising its own warriors. It first ate the raw meat in their traditional way, teeth flashing. Then, using its clawed hands with unexpected delicacy, it picked up a cooked piece. The room fell silent as the Alpha chewed. Its eyes widened slightly. "The heat. It changes the taste," the Alpha said slowly. "Makes it more complex." It turned to its warriors. "Try this." One by one, the hunters sampled the cooked meat. Their reactions ranged from surprise to what seemed like pleasure, though human expressions didn't map well to hunter faces. "Your people turned weakness into new strength," the Alpha said to Jack. "You could not eat raw meat, so you learned to make it better. Like your hunting, using small strength to overcome bigger force." Mike approached cautiously with his tablet. "Sir, incoming transmission from the hunter ships behind Mars." The Alpha's head snapped up. "You knew of those ships." "We noticed them when they arrived," Jack said calmly. "Just as we prepared the hunting ground, we prepare for everything." The Alpha made its grinding stone laugh. Good. Very good. It turned to its warriors. See. They watch like predators, plan like prey, think like humans. The last word came through the translator with a tone of respect. May I ask something? Jack said, seeing an opportunity. Why did you really accept our dinner invitation? No other species has ever hosted hunters successfully. The alpha's scales rippled thoughtfully. We watched your species. You spread across your world, not like prey running from predators, but like hunters claiming territory. Yet you build, create, change things. You are not cruel like pure predators, not weak like pure prey. It gestured at the cooked meat. You take what you have and make it more. When we learned you were reaching for the stars, one of the other hunters added, some said to crush you quickly, before you grew too strong. Jack felt a chill, but kept his face neutral. And what did you say? I said wait, the alpha answered. Watch, learn. The galaxy has prey species who run, predator species who hunt. But humans, it picked up another piece of cooked meat. Humans adapt, change, make new ways. Perhaps the galaxy needs this. The tension in the room eased slightly. Humans and hunters continued sharing the meal, each learning from the other's ways. But Jack noticed the alpha kept glancing at the ceiling, toward Mars. Something was still coming. A quiet alarm buzzed in his pocket. The hidden hunter ships were moving. The embassy's lights flickered and died. Emergency red lighting kicked in, casting strange shadows across the dining hall. The hunter ships from Mars had knocked out the main power with some kind of energy pulse. Rival pack, the alpha growled, its scales darkening to black. They come to stop the alliance. It turned to Jack. Your people are in danger. We should leave. Jack stood his ground. No, we hunted together. We ate together. Now we'll fight together. The alpha's yellow eyes studied him for a long moment. Then it barked orders to its warriors in their native language. They immediately moved to defensive positions around the room. Mike, Jack called. Execute Protocol Dark Hunt. Mike typed rapidly on his tablet. Hidden panels in the walls slid open, revealing weapon racks. The kitchen staff, who Jack had specially selected for more than just their cooking skills, moved quickly to arm themselves. The alpha watched with what looked like approval. You prepared for battle at a dinner. Humans always prepare for the worst, Jack said, checking the charge on a pulse rifle, while hoping for the best. The building shook as enemy ships landed in the courtyard. Security cameras showed more hunters emerging, these ones wearing battle armor marked with red symbols. They are Death Pack, one of the Alpha's warriors said. They believe any species that might threaten hunter dominance must be destroyed. Jack nodded grimly. How many? 12 warriors, 2 ships. We have 4 hunters, 8 humans, and home ground advantage, Jack said. He touched his comm unit, plus a few surprises. Remember the hunting ground. The Alpha's eyes widened in understanding. The sensors, the traps. Still active, Jack confirmed. And now we're the ones being hunted. Shall we show them why that's a mistake? The first explosions hit the embassy's doors. Jack's team moved into position, humans and friendly hunters working together without words. They had trained for this, though everyone had hoped it wouldn't be necessary. When the Death Pack burst in, they found an empty dining hall. Food still sat on the tables, steam rising from cooked meat. The enemy hunters moved forward cautiously. Now, Jack whispered into his comm. The lights went completely dark. The enemy hunters roared in surprise, their natural night vision overwhelmed by the sudden change. In that moment, Jack's team struck. Pulse rifles fired from hidden positions. The Alpha and its warriors attacked from the shadows, their scales blending perfectly with the darkness. The Death Pack, expecting easy prey, found themselves caught in a crossfire. 2 enemy hunters went down in the first few seconds. Another crashed through a wall, trying to escape, only to trigger the hunting ground's sensor grid. Electric pulses, originally meant to track razor cats, now helped track hostile hunters. Like the hunt, the Alpha shouted, taking down an enemy with powerful strikes. Small strength, used well. Jack fired his rifle, covering Mike as his assistant activated more traps. Humans learned long ago, he called back, the best defense is to make your enemy fight on your terms. The battle moved through the embassy's corridors, each room becoming a new ambush point. The Death Pack, used to overwhelming force, found themselves picked apart by human technology and hunter strength working together. In the end, it took less than 10 minutes. The enemy hunters lay defeated, their ships disabled by embassy defenses they hadn't known existed. The Alpha stood in the ruined dining hall, looking at Jack with newfound respect. You turned dinner into victory. No, Jack replied, helping a wounded hunter warrior to its feet. We did. Dawn broke over the embassy, its light revealing the aftermath of the night's battle. Workers were already clearing debris from the dining hall while Tom and his kitchen staff prepared a breakfast that no one had planned for, but everyone had earned. The Alpha stood with Jack on the embassy's balcony, both watching as the defeated Death Pack members were loaded onto their ships. Under guard, they would be taken back to Hunter Space for judgment. Your people fought well, the Alpha said, its scales now a calm blue color. But what impressed me more was how you fought. Jack turned to look at the massive hunter. What do you mean? Death Pack expected prey hiding behind weapons or predators fighting with pure force. The Alpha gestured at the embassy. Instead, they found hunters who think, who prepare, who turn their ground into a weapon. It made its grinding stone laugh. Very hunter-like, in a human way. Below them, human security teams and hunter warriors shared a meal, some humans trying raw meat, while hunters experimented with different cooked dishes. The divisions between species seemed to be fading with each passing hour. The trade routes, the Alpha said suddenly. You wanted them open to human ships. Yes, Jack admitted. It was the main reason for this dinner. They are yours. Jack tried to hide his surprise. Just like that. The Alpha's scales rippled with amusement. Not just like that. You earned them. First by inviting us properly, treating us as equals. Then by hunting with us, showing respect for our ways while teaching us yours. It paused. And finally, by fighting beside us, trusting us with your lives as we trusted you with ours. Mike appeared at the balcony door, tablet in hand as always. Sir, the council is calling. They've heard about the battle and want to know if the diplomatic mission failed. Jack smiled. Tell them it succeeded beyond our highest hopes. He looked at the Alpha. If that's accurate. More than accurate, the Alpha replied. I am declaring humans as friend-packed to all hunters. Our territories are open to you. Our warriors will fight beside yours. And it showed its teeth in what Jack now recognized as a smile. We will return next year for another dinner, perhaps with more hunting first. We'd be honored, Jack said, though maybe next time we can skip the battle part. But keep the cooking, the Alpha added, surprising a laugh out of Jack. My warriors have grown fond of it. Some are already talking about installing kitchens on our ships. More ships appeared in the sky. Friendly hunter vessels this time, coming to help with the cleanup. As they landed, Jack noticed their markings had already been changed to include a new symbol, a human hand and hunter claw crossed together. You know, Jack said thoughtfully, some on Earth worried that meeting hunters would show humans weren't ready for the galaxy, that we were too weak, too different. Instead, the Alpha rumbled, you showed that different can be strong. That thinking like prey and predator together makes a new kind of hunter. It placed a massive clawed hand carefully on Jack's shoulder. The galaxy needs this, needs humans. Change is coming, and who better to lead it than those who make change their strength? Together, they watched the sunrise complete its journey. Below them, humans and hunters continued to share food, stories, and plans for the future. The diplomatic dinner had turned into something more. The beginning of an alliance that would reshape the stars. Now the Alpha said, "Shall we go try more of that coffee your people keep talking about? I find I quite enjoy human drinks too." Jack grinned. "Just wait until you try ice cream."